Hi, good afternoon. My name is Omar Okonkwo, Okoje Okonkwo, should I say. This is the new reinvented me. So today, my passion really is very much about helping people explore things that they believe to be true. That belief has been set up for whatever reason. So my hope is that from what I share today, I will just hopefully be able to get you to question question why you believe what you believe. Now, which is my children are my greatest teachers. So I was just really pondering about a couple of things in my life, different aspects of my personal life, my parenting life, and my career. And I like to ponder, I like to consider and think why I'm doing these different things because I grew up in Nigeria, but I also grew up in the UK. And that is important to share with you because I kind of was very much in the mindset of who am I, what, because there's obviously a different culture in the different locations. And I always felt like, what is it to be Nigerian? What is it to be British? And how do you merge the two cultures together? And then I just realized that actually I could be myself. I could be Akoja, I could be Omo. I didn't have to be anything as such. And then the questions around, okay, so why do I believe what I believe? Is that something that I was taught to believe, or is it something that I truly believe in myself? And was that influenced by culture? And if it was influenced, is that something I still want to believe moving forward? I ask these questions very much so because I'm a mom of three beautiful children and lots of things, issues. You know how these children question you. They'll question you, why, mommy, why is it this way? Mommy, why is it this way? And you kind of always ask yourself, yeah, it's true. Why is it this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why do I believe those kind of beliefs? So just so I don't go off on a tangent, one of the things is that I realized that I needed for certain things, I gave myself permission, right? But certain things in life, I also noticed that I was waiting for permission. I was waiting for somebody to come down and give me permission to do certain things. Okay, so for example, one of the things I would say in my permission was at work. I have a really tricky work situation where I got into this work and I was really pumped about it. And it's very, very senior position. And for a Black woman to get to that position, I was completely thrilled. I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And they were really, my people that interviewed me were so, so cool, very supportive. So when I now went to the location, I didn't get a warm reception. But I was too enthusiastic because I was like, oh, people will like me when they get to know me. I'm Omo, people tend to like me. But I started receiving lots of resistance to anything I was doing, any changes I wanted to make. And strangely enough, I'm kind of bold. I'm a very, very bold person. I'm very measured. So I wouldn't take any actions without considering the pros and cons and processing. Some things that are easy for me to make a decision, I'll make a decision like that, if you know me well. But things where I feel may influence the wider group, I would always kind of contemplate it, seek advice, and so on and so forth. But then I was realizing I'd gone into this realm where I couldn't move, I couldn't make any decision, like even things that were very trivial. And the thing is that I was actually, the reason I went into that kind of space was because I was seeking permission. I was seeking permission from the people around me. I was seeking their approval. And then I said to myself, it's interesting because I came into this setting with a very, very different outlook. And so how did I get myself into this realm where I was so wanting to get permission and approval? I mean, of course, we're all human beings and we want people to accept us and to like us and all those things and so on and so forth. And I thought to myself, actually, is it only in this part of my life I do this, or is it actually widespread? I'm talking about it like widespread, like it's a disease, but like, is this something that I do? So I kind of like looked at other areas in my life where I feel very confident. like my parenting, I thought, yes, I do seek permission, but not to a great deal, I guess, because I think these are my kids and I sense them a lot. I'm really, really very heart-centered with my children. I kind of feel what's going on with them, and I always reflect on, the advice I gave them, the correction I gave them, how was my tonality, um, where was that coming from? Was that correction coming from a place of fear? Because you can correct a child and you're correcting them so intensely. And it's not because of the incident, it's the fear of, if we don't correct this child, what this incident could lead to. Do you understand? Like, maybe your child is, reading a provocative book, or a slightly provocative book, and you kind of like, oh my goodness, if it's your daughter, you kind of like, oh my goodness, is she going to be the kind of person that's sleeping around? That kind of thing. You're kind of blown the whole thing out of proportion. So you tell her off with the intensity of fear. So I kind of always have to catch myself, my oldest one as well. I'm like, he's the oldest one. He's got to toe the line. So sometimes when I'm telling him off, kind of very intense. So I kind of like, not to digress, I kind of feel very comfortable in my parenting. So then another thing that I struggle with is my relationships with people. And I seek permission if there are things that, even in church, there are things that I see they're not quite right, or I don't feel that I would have handled it the way people have handled it. I sit back and I seek permission. I seek permission for people to give me the go ahead. So now, I just realized, oh my goodness, this is a pattern that I kind of I turn to once I feel there's a little bit of resistance to what I'm saying. I kind of sit back and, I, in my heart, maybe not vocalize it. I kind of complain, and then I just sit back. And that's actually that is actually something I really believe actually stunts our growth. I really believe. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that every time, something happens, you need to run and go and, say this is this. But I feel like in seeking permission from other people, you then limit the fact that God might have put you, or the creator might have put you in this situation for you to be the answer to that problem. Does that make sense? By you sitting back and not doing anything and seeking permission for people to give you the go ahead, you are actually missing out on what your purpose could be in that situation. So, for example, I just thought about it literally. Hence, I just thought the real desires to come up and say this. There's something else going on in church, not like anything like scandalous, but I just thought to myself, they really need to do this. And I thought to myself, why haven't I said anything to them? And the reason, because I didn't want to come across like I was complaining. And I wanted their permission to accept me and set what my solution is before I actually say anything. Isn't that interesting? Whereas rather than saying, oh my goodness, thank you so much, God, for showing me this so I can be the solution to the problem. I could, what my solution in this situation is be somebody that can run workshops to support this certain group of people because there's a gap or there's a need. So I just want to ask you the question, in your life, in your workplace, because this thing can be what is absolutely stopping you from really going to the next level of your life. I'm all about sharing and delivering information that would really impact people's lives, because I really believe there's so much that we could do together. There is not, together we actually are stronger. And the more of us come up and flourish, the much better for the next person, for the next person, for the next person. So I really believe that today, this week, just think about it. When you, in your mind, think about maybe something you could do, I want you to ask yourself, so whose permission are you seeking to do that? That very thing that you feel needs changing, what is actually stopping you from saying, oh, I noticed this and I just wanted to find out if I could potentially do this. This could help, and this is the reason why I think it could help. So you're coming at the issue not like a criticism, like, oh, I see, this is the way I could support you guys in this. You know, I really believe that when God puts something in our view, actually, I really believe that that's actually He's calling us to be the solution to this world. And that very small thing that you think is small can lead you to greater things, greater things. I tell you, for example, I started a forever business, network marketing business at home. And honestly, that one decision to do that has skyrocketed my career. It's allowed me to do coaching workshops, coaching. It's also allowed me to be called upon to do some business consulting, because I'd learned some skills in that place that I would not naturally have learnt. Maybe I could have learnt it, but I wouldn't have learnt it as fast. I've then gone to do some NLP, which helps me learn about people's behavior. It then opened doors to me to understand people's personality types. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on about the doors that have been opened from me just stepping out, not asking for permission, and just doing something. And that's had a knock-on effect on the rest of my life. So I hope this has been something that has spoken to your hearts. As you can tell, I'm a Christian, but this doesn't have to be a message based on Christianity. This could be something that you could share with your loved ones, anyone you know, who you know for whatever reason, you know they could do more, but they're holding themselves back, and you can't kind of put your finger on it. Sometimes it's just things that have happened to them in the past. Maybe they've sought permission from their loved ones, their mom, their dad, and they're continuously doing that in every aspect of their life, their relationship, their career. Interesting enough, there was an issue with a relationship, and I had a very different view of how the dynamics of relationship should work. And I was going around chatting about it with other people. And can you believe this person did this? And they would expect me to do that. And then some people would understand, some people wouldn't understand. And then I just said, hang on, why am I seeking people's permission to feel the way I'm feeling about this situation? Why do I need their approval? This is how I feel about it. And that's actually enough. That's actually enough. All these things we put on ourselves that actually weigh us down, and I believe truly stop us from really living our authentic and best life. When we are true to who we are, we will be able to walk along a path. We were not sure what's going to happen next week, but once we're aligned with that part of us, our really highest being, the being that God created, and we listen to that being, that's when we'll really, really live our truth, live our authentic self, live purposely, and live the life that God has called us to live. So I just thought about it, and I thought I'd hop on here and share this, and I'm already here 13 minutes. I hope it's blessed you. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye.